I love that we're starting this at 1, 2, 3, 4. This is incredible. I can't. This is so good. Hey guys, welcome back to the Sunny Virgo. So today we have a very special video because the day this video is uploaded is the 2nd year anniversary of the Sunny Virgo. And I wanted to do something a little special, so I cooked up a little Q&A for you. I do also have a giveaway that is going to be, like, the details and everything, it's going to be a little bit later on in the video. But yeah, so I asked you guys some questions. I asked you what you want to know about me, about my journey, about the Sunny Virgo, and I'm going to be answering them all. So by now you could actually be wondering about the looks. Well, the lives, I usually do them in my bed, and I was like, you know, Q&A, that's a more intimate thing. Why not record the Q&A in my pajamas? Because, like, if you want to get to know me, you have to see me with the thing that I wear basically every single day. It's not every single day, it's like 5 times a week. I'm kidding. Sometimes I dress up. Sometimes. Just sometimes. But grab your little cup of coffee, grab your little cup of tea, grab some popcorns, sit back, relax. Let's get into it. So before we get into the most asked question, because everyone wants to know it, let's get started with the basics. So someone asked what my name is, where I'm from, and everything. So my name is Margarida. I'm from Portugal. I'm a very proud Portuguese gal, and I'm 22. Now, let's get into the details. Everyone was asking me, like, how I started my journey, my tarot journey, my spiritual awakening, how it was, how long I've been doing tarot and everything. So everything, well, first of all, this is the 2nd year anniversary of the Sunny Virgo. So the Sunny Virgo officially started on the 25th of January of 2020. Yes, right before the pandemic kind of hit everyone, or at least here in Portugal. And at the time I was studying music composition. I was in my last year of my bachelor degree, and like, starting tarot was kind of a breath of fresh air. You know, I've been studying music for 16 years, and so I was kind of sick of it. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I was kind of sick of it. But how it truly started, let's go back to the beginning. So it all started with my twin flame. We met in college, and it was actually really beautiful. I always, when I look back, I'm always like, universe, what's up? You know, because we started in the same year. And so in our first year was like the first or 2nd week, I was in the library, and the whole library was full. There was not a single spot. It was not very big, but the whole library was full except on my table. And so I was there, I was studying, and he kind of comes over and he's like, hey, it's all full, can I please sit here? And so nothing really happened except me saying bless you when he sneezed. So yeah, and then we kind of said hello in the hallways for some time, but then it kind of just faded away. But then 1.5 years later, I signed up for what I didn't know was one of his classes, one of his course classes, and we kind of started connecting a little bit more there. Nothing too major, but we started following each other on Instagram. And so on the summer of 2019, we started talking a little bit more, and things started to kind of develop and stuff. And so I was kind of curious, like, okay, what's up with this? And I was never really a true believer of tarot. I was raised Catholic, and, you know, I feel like, especially here in Portugal, I feel like everyone kind of sees tarot as it's woo-woo stuff, and it's from the witches, and you shouldn't believe in it. So I was always like a little bit skeptic about it. Then I watched the reading for Virgo, and bro, I'm so glad that was the first reading I watched, because at that time I was working at a pet hotel, and she, at some point, I don't remember her name, but she, at some point, she was like, you know what, I'm hearing dogs. Some of you may actually have dogs or may work with dogs. I was like, what? Like, everything she said really made sense. And so that's how I started getting into tarot. And I started watching more tarot readings, and I came to this point where I already knew what the cards meant before they even said anything about it. And I started designing, like, my own tarot deck just so I could study and learn it. And again, I studied music for 16 years, and so at that point, I was a little bit over it. I was really confused about, like, how to move forward, what I really wanted to do in the future. And tarot for me kind of showed up as an escape, and it was really fun. And then I started the channel, and I would spend more time doing tarot readings for YouTube than actually my assignment. But yeah, so Then with my twin flame, that's when the true spiritual awakening kind of happened. I had already been working on my self-love and everything for some time, but I really feel like that was the shifting point into going towards my life purpose, which I believe it's tarot, or at least it's like helping people and helping them in any way I can. But it was also what got me into truly knowing what self-love was and self-worth and everything. So my twin flame was a big trigger for me. And by the time we were about to get official, a third party joined, which was so fun. It was really like beautiful. That hurt like hell because he really was the first person I loved. And I mean, twin flames, they're really intense stuff. And a big part of the twin flame journey is to mirror back to one another what we are insecure about, what are our beliefs, what do we struggle with. And we were both very codependent. I feel like we were both very insecure as well. And when the third party joined, I really feel like that was a big shock for the relationship, for the twin flame journey, and for especially my own spiritual awakening. Then the pandemic hit, so it's like perfect timing. I couldn't be more grateful for the pandemic. I know I know it wasn't the best thing, and it's not, because it's still a thing, but it really, really allowed me to grow and allowed me to become who I am now, because I spent so much time with myself. I had a lot of time for tarot, for me to reflect and for me to heal. It wasn't a really easy thing, because it was only like about a year and a half afterwards, after the whole thing, that I was actually really able to let him go and kind of be open to new love and be open to just letting things flow. But it was a really big spiritual awakening in terms of life purpose, I would say. And that was the thing that triggered it most. So I've been doing this for 2 years now, and I couldn't be happier. And I've learned so much. And I really feel like I've became the person that I always wanted to be. All thanks to the twin flame. All thanks to the pandemic. So I am kind of grateful for the pandemic. I know that's kind of a little bit bold to say, but yeah, I am. So the other question we have is from John. How does tarot influence other areas of your life? Kind of a lot. I don't even feel like it's tarot necessarily, because I see tarot as a guide for the present moment. I'm not really into the whole thing of predictions and everything. I do feel like you can get a little hint into what's about to happen, but it's always influenced by how you're feeling right now, what are you supposed to do, and what you're actually doing. Because sometimes you're supposed to follow a certain path, but because you're hurt, you're going to avoid that path. And so there are tons of possibilities in terms of the near future and the whole future by itself, that I feel like there's no point in you trying to predict the future, because I really feel like the present moment is where you should be. So for me, tarot kind of influenced my whole life in terms of advice, in terms of guidance, and in seeing how I can become the better version of me, be it in career, be it in love, be it in lifestyle and health and everything. But I feel like more than tarot, intuition and developing my clairs was really the thing that had a huge impact on my life and how I deal with other situations. Because like my spidey senses are like off the roof. So it's like if I have a bad vibe about someone, that is true, you know? It's so interesting because now I start getting into this point where like I just know. That is something that I write often in my journal. It's like, I just know this is going to happen. I just know this is what I'm supposed to do. And I can distinguish really well what is my insecurity or doubts and what is my soul calling. And so I don't know, I feel like tarot and this whole spiritual awakening and intuition really got me into this place where I'm able to trust myself. I'm able to trust my path and my life. So I feel like that's something that everyone should kind of look into, not necessarily tarot, but like intuition and developing that is really good. And actually, speaking of my spiritual awakening, I found out recently that I'm on the last stage of a spiritual awakening right now as we speak, which is so incredible. Because I've been getting a lot of like inexpensive energy, a lot of like things moving forward, and I am really seeing a lot of stuff. And that's something that you should also be aware of, is that spiritual awakening is not always a very like bad thing, or it's not always heavy. That's what I mean. Because spiritual awakening is a whole path. So I've been in this journey for 2 years now, and I'm just now getting into the end of the spiritual awakening. So like this whole process was part of the spiritual awakening. So next up, we have a question from VE. What was your first deck or shells? So if you're watching this, you probably know that I read shells. So it's basically, I just go to the beach and I just pick them up. And it's like anything that calls to me, I pick them up. And I have here, I don't use them all. I have some of the shells here on this little bottle that I have on like a table next to my crystals. So yeah, the shells, I got them from a beach in Algarve in Portugal. And my first deck, the first one was Prisma Visions Tarot. It was actually, I bought it from AliExpress because I didn't have a lot of money. So I don't really count that as my first honest deck because, I don't know, I feel like we should always support the authors and the creators and everything. But yeah, that was my first deck. The first one that I bought from the author, I actually believe it was the Starseed Oracle deck. And in terms of tarot, I believe it was the Lightseers Tarot. So next up we have another question from John, and it is, do you do private readings and how much is it? How is the process? And this is a great time for me to mention a giveaway. I do private readings, and the link is going to be down below. The cost kind of depends on the reading you want. I have like 10 varieties of readings focused on specific areas or just a simple message that you need to hear at this moment. The link is going to be down below for my shop for you to be able to look at it and kind of read reviews and feel comfortable with your purchase. That is your sign. I don't know if you heard it, but a car was honking. That is your sign to go purchase a reading for me. But this is a great time for me to mention a giveaway. So it is the 2nd year anniversary of the Sunny Virgo, and I couldn't be more grateful for you guys because, I mean, this is all really pretty, but this wouldn't really happen or exist if it wasn't for you. So I wouldn't be able to do this full time if it wasn't for you. So I really want to gift you a little something as well. I'm going to be giving away you're going to have the possibility from choosing like 2 questions or a like message you need to hear from about a specific situation. So all you have to do to enter the giveaway is comment on this video. Of course, be subscribed, but comment on this video for you to enter and write a little message for the community, for my birdies, and how have you changed in the last 2 years? Okay, I want to know that. So that is the way for you to enter. Is going to be randomly selected, and yeah, I think that's it. Someone asked actually a really interesting question. Did your reading come true at any point of time? And I just went through this whole speech of like, I'm not really into predictions, and you know, the present moment is the thing. It has. I just noticed that this exact morning because I do 3D versus 5D reading for me to reflect and for me to kind of see how things are going and everything. And I actually thought that I didn't do that reading for myself about like 2 weeks, and it was actually almost like a month. And I found out why today, because in the previous log, I mentioned that in the near future and what was getting ready for me was actually expansion, number 1, what I did see, but also me releasing some stuff from the past, and that freaking happened, and like T for T. It was so incredible. Whenever I do these types of readings, I always get it right, which is incredible. And actually, sometimes it's not even with readings. I love to do this little exercise for me to develop my intuition, which is like trying to predict someone that you're going to be around with, trying to predict their clothes. So yesterday, I was thinking of that, and my brother is here, and I was like, you know, I got this feeling that today he's gonna wear a green shirt, and he did. I feel like that is an amazing exercise for you to kind of develop your intuition. It's like, just focus on someone that you're connecting with. What do you think they're gonna wear? You know, you may even meditate a little bit, but what is your gut telling you? What is the color, you know? That is a great exercise. So next up, we have a question from KPS, and it's about the readings. Like, how do you get those energies on the readings? Because they're always really accurate. I'm glad they resonate. And like, how do you feel while doing them and everything? It kind of depends. It's really weird because sometimes I'm doing the readings and I have no idea what I'm saying. Whenever I'm channeling, it's like I zoom out. I'm really like, nothing is happening in my mind, and I just speak. And sometimes I get out of that moment and I'm like, what year is it? You know, because I really get lost in it. And sometimes if I repeat myself and I don't say, you know, I keep hearing this, or I know I'm repeating myself or something like that, if I don't say that, it's because I would channel it before and now I'm repeating myself because that is a message that I'm getting, that I am aware of. So sometimes I just channel and I just zoom out and I have no idea what I'm saying. And sometimes I get feelings. I am clairsentient. I believe that we all have the 5 clairs. But there are some that are more in tune with you, and so I am clairvoyant a lot. Whenever you do a private reading with me, sometimes with the monthly readings, I also say that I see things, but especially in the private readings, we always meditate together and we connect with one another, and I always mention stuff that I see. So I'm clairvoyant, so I see stuff, and sometimes I also hear stuff. And I'm also clairsentient. Those are my 3 biggest clairs. And it's just like, it's all about intuition, basically. And sometimes when it's a heavier reading, I also get like, especially in the heart chakra, I really feel the pain. And sometimes it's even hard to breathe, you know? That's the life of an empath. But yeah, essentially it's just all about intuition and feelings. And yeah, sometimes I don't really get anything too specific around feelings or intuition or seeing stuff, and it's just all about like reading cards and how they're coming up. But most of the times there's always like intuition in it and hearing stuff or seeing stuff. So yeah, that's basically it. So second to last question, are you a cusp, and what are the advantages of being a cusp? So I am a cusp. I'm a Leo Virgo cusp. And speaking of cusps, actually, there is a link below for a survey that I am doing some research around cusps for me to be able to understand you better and kind of give you better information to help you out with it. And so the link is going to be down below. It's not that long, so I would really appreciate it if you go check it out and fill it out. And the advantages of being a cusp. One thing that I believe it was Sherry, shout out to her, she mentioned something about cusp, which is called the cusp healer or something like that. And it's actually like each cusp, you have like the cusp of power, the cusp of oscillation, the cusp of beauty. And each cusp has a particular meaning, a particular purpose to humanity, to society, to this soul group that we're here incarnated in Earth. And so that is actually one of the advantages. It's because you actually have much more power than you are aware of. And so when you're a cusp, one of the main things is to have self-awareness, is to really figure out, okay, so I have these 2 main energies around me. I have these 2 main energies around me. How can I balance them? What are you trying to say to me? What are you trying to say to me? Which one is a little bit out of control? Which one can I work a little bit more on? And as you start to gain that self-awareness, as you start to really balance them out and work between them, kind of have this flow between the 2 energies, you really are able to unlock a really powerful healing power, a really powerful ability for you to help Earth and for you to help raise Earth's vibration. So I feel like cusps are a little bit more important than people actually tend to believe. So just saying. Now, the last question, and this is actually a really random question, but I'm going to explain why I chose it, which is from Noshim, and it is, are you doing good? And the reason why I chose this question, and I chose it for last, it's for 2 things. So I am a Capricorn moon, so I do have a lot of trouble opening up about my feelings and opening up about the things that I'm going through. I always seem like I'm okay, and that is actually something that I'm trying to work on, but I always tend to isolate myself a little bit. That's also part of the cusp. But I wanted to share this with you guys because, I don't know, I feel like sometimes we, even in like social media and everything, we tend to look at everyone's lives and we're like, oh my God, they're doing so good. And some people may actually be hurting. Some people may actually be in a really complicated place. And I don't know if it is because I didn't have a lot of friends growing up or anything like that, but I do tend to have a lot of trouble opening up. Like, if you don't ask me if I am doing good, like in a serious, like seriously, how are you, you know? Or what's up with you? What's going on with your life? I tend to just kind of go surface level. That is something that I'm trying to work on. But yeah, answering to the question, I am doing very good. Thank you for asking. I'm really happy with where I am now. And I'm not at all living my 100% dream life, but I couldn't be happier and more grateful with my life. And that is all because the other reason why I chose this for last is because part of my happiness is due to you. So again, I'm really, really grateful for having you here. And man, oh, we're gonna get emotional. Don't. Man, I just love you. I'm really, really grateful for having you here and for all the support that you guys give me and for like the comments and just anything. So thank you for being here. Also, go ask a friend how they are, because again, they may be a Capricorn moon and you don't know it and they may actually be hurting and they may need your support. Okay, so go text someone, go call someone and ask them how they are and catch up to them. And yeah, that's it. So thank you for joining me here. Thank you for this amazing 2 years, for all that you've given me. And yeah, I love you very much. I wish you the best, and I will see you next one. Bye. I'm excited. Fuck you. My God. Mercury retrograde. Can you please give me a break? Okay, I don't know what I'm saying.